Paul Castellano, often known as Big Paulie or the Howard Hughes of the mob, was a powerful crime boss in the New York-based Gambino crime family. His life and criminal career took him through several cities across the United States and were marked by a series of high-profile murders, illicit enterprises, and ultimately his own violent demise. Here's an overview of his life, influence, and legacy. Early life and rise in New York City. Birth and upbringing. Paul Castellano was born on June 26, 1915, in Brooklyn, New York, to a family deeply involved in organized crime. His uncle was Carlo Gambino, a future boss of the Gambino crime family. Entry into crime. Castellano dropped out of school in the 8th grade and became involved in organized crime as a young man. His early criminal activities included bootlegging and gambling, and he eventually climbed the ranks within the Gambino family. Expansion of influence. Criminal empire in the 1960s, 1970s. Role in the Gambino family. In the 1960s, Castellano became more involved in the Gambino family's operations, overseeing significant revenue streams in construction, garbage collection, and meat distribution. His legitimate business front, Blue Ribbon Meats, also helped him develop his public persona as a businessman. Becoming boss. When Carlo Gambino died in 1976, he bypassed his underboss, Aniello Delacroce, and appointed Castellano as his successor. This decision was controversial within the family, as Castellano was viewed as more of a businessman than a traditional mobster. Influence in other cities. Expansion of criminal operations. Connections to other cities. Under Castellano, the Gambino family expanded its reach beyond New York City into cities such as Miami, Las Vegas, and Atlantic City. His influence was most strongly felt through gambling rackets, narcotics trafficking, and union corruption. Violent consolidation of power. Despite his desire to be seen as a business crime boss, Castellano maintained power through intimidation and murder. Those who threatened his control were often eliminated, leading to internal tensions and violence. Infamous murders and power struggles. Disputes with Delacroce. Castellano's leadership was tested by tensions with his underboss, Aniello Delacroce, who had the support of many street members of the family. Castellano distanced himself from drug trafficking, but he allowed certain members to profit from it while heavily taxing them. This double standard led to discontent and power struggles. High-profile killings. Notably, Castellano was suspected to be behind the murders of several key figures, such as Nicholas Gabetta and Thomas Bellotti, who threatened his authority. He ordered these killings as part of his strategy to maintain absolute control over the family. Downfall, FBI investigation and prosecution. Surveillance and FBI tapes. The FBI surveillance of Castellano's home in Toad Hill, Staten Island, uncovered recordings of him discussing murders and other criminal activities. These recordings would later form a significant part of the evidence used to prosecute him. Indictments and legal troubles. In 1985, Castellano was indicted on charges of racketeering, murder, and conspiracy. His prosecution became a media spectacle, putting a spotlight on organized crime in America. Death in New York City. John Gotti's takeover. John Gotti, a high-ranking member of the Gambino family, orchestrated Castellano's assassination. Gotti, who had been critical of Castellano's leadership, saw the opportunity to take control of the family. Assassination. On December 16, 1985, Castellano and his bodyguard, Thomas Bellotti, were shot and killed outside Spark Steakhouse in Manhattan. This high-profile hit was carried out by Gotti's associates and marked a dramatic turning point in the history of the Gambino family. Legacy and documentaries. Impact on organized crime. Castellano's murder underscored the brutal power struggles within the mafia and marked a shift toward a more violent era under Gotti. His legacy remains controversial, as he is viewed as a figure who attempted to legitimize the mob's image, albeit unsuccessfully. Documentaries and media. Castellano's life has been covered in various documentaries, including episodes in American Mafia, Mafia's Greatest Hits, and Inside the American Mob. These documentaries offer insight into his business dealings, relationships within the mob, and his role in shaping organized crime in America. Through these documentaries and other media, Castellano's life is depicted as one defined by ambition, strategic violence, and ultimately betrayal, capturing his complex role within the Gambino family and the American Mafia as a whole. Thanks for tuning into Sika True Crime Docs. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating tales. Your support helps us keep bringing these stories to life. See you in the next episode.